It is a good day for Bitcoin today. The markets are pumping. We got some very exciting news. The Taproot upgrade has been signaled to be activated. MicroStrategy is going to buy like $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. Another country hopping on the crypto bandwagon. It's all happening. It's all happening, guys. Very, very exciting times. We're covering all of that and more in today's video. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing, so if that's a topic that you would like to learn some more about, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, gently tap on the thumbs up button, and of course click on the notification bell to know when I put out a new video. So let's go ahead and turn over to the charts to get started off with. So, as you can see, the price has been doing pretty good over the last few days. We're slowly but surely grinding up towards the 200-day freaking moving average, man. Come on. That, of course, is the bull bear line underneath the 200-day moving average. That's accumulation time, baby, but it's also a bear trend. That is a bear trend. This is when the bears are in charge of the market. Over the 200-day moving average, that shows that the bulls are back in charge. Bull market back on, baby. Of course, crypto's always in a bull market in my heart anyway, even when we are in a bear trend like we are right now. But we could be coming up to a situation where we break out of this bull trend in the not so distant future. We got to crack over that 200-day moving average. We have got to get a close around $43,000 for Bitcoin. That is where we need to see Bitcoin closing a daily candle above. From there, of course, assuming it's backed up by some volume, then we can start talking about pushing the price higher, getting back up to re-challenge the previous all-time high, and of course to enter price discovery once again. But we could still have some surprises coming in for us. Remember, if we are following the Wyckoff accumulation pattern right now, then we are going to see a spring event at some point. Now, there is a chance that this could have been the spring event. It wouldn't really perfectly fit with the pattern by any means, but it doesn't have to perfectly fit with the pattern. However, we could still likely be seeing that spring event coming in here in the not so distant future, which could bring us back down to the lower 30,000s. But let's see how we go. It is pretty encouraging, I think, at the moment that we did see Bitcoin closing above the line of resistance here around $39,500, which is not exactly where I drew my red line there, but approximately where I drew my red line, which that's good. I think that's a very positive thing to see, this daily candle closing above that. That, as you can see, has been a sticky line of resistance right around here. So that is good to see. We are, of course, now getting Bitcoin to trend a bit higher. You see what we were getting here for the last few weeks was that we were getting these lower highs. So lower high here, lower high here. We've now actually broken out of that trend, which is, I think, a pretty good thing to be seeing. What we could be seeing in the not so distant future is Bitcoin actually getting up here. This could be that move that builds up momentum, but look, the 200-day moving average, it's a line of resistance. It has acted as a line of resistance before, back here, for example. Acted as a line of resistance. Bitcoin could not break above it. We're coming up for a test. We're coming up for a test of that line of resistance. So let's see if Bitcoin can hammer it home or not, and the bull run gets back on, or if we are in for some more pain. By the way, if you want to buy yourself some Bitcoin, head on over to Binance. It is the best place to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Chainlink, Dogecoin, whatever your poison might be. And if you use the link down below in the description to start your account, you will get 10% off of your trading fees and up to $700 in bonuses. So go ahead and check that out. Now I want to share a couple of different charts with you here that kind of say that it's been a pretty good time to be buying the dips. So this one's from Lex Moskovsky. He's Chief Investment Officer at Moskovsky Capital. He said, if you're a believer in the stock to flow model, now is a good time to buy Bitcoin. The negative deflection from the model is one of the highest it's ever been. So let's have a look here at this chart. So this is the deviation from the stock to flow model. You can see that right here at the current level, this is one of the lowest ever. One of the lowest ever. So right back here, obviously, was a great buying opportunity. That was a massive deviation. Right here as well was also a great time to be getting into a position. That was a big dip. This one also a very, very big market dip. So when we get these events, they tend to be very, very interesting times to buy some Bitcoin. That is exactly what's happening right now. I also want to share this tweet with you from Dan Tapiero. So he said, Bitcoin has never topped with volatility this low. Massive upside still ahead. Short-term people are too negative. Bitcoin is the biggest global macro event of all time. Smaller countries are in need of alpha and hungry to lead. So you can have a look at the chart here. This is the volatility index. So you can see that we have never had a topping for Bitcoin with this kind of low market volatility. We're currently right here. The volatility at a top is usually like this. So you can see that is a market top right there. And this is a market top right here. That's what volatility looks like at the top. Not like this, not down here. This is not signaling a top according to this metric. So we have so many metrics like this that are saying, basically, look, the top is not in, that is not what is happening right now for the markets. This is simply a huge correction, a massive shakeout. Whales are just crushing a lot of investors right now that bought high are now selling low. The whales sold it to them at the top are rebuying down here, or have rebought, of course, we should say probably recently. And speaking of whales buying up some Bitcoin, MicroStrategy is at it again. Now, they actually just raised $500 million, which finished yesterday, that raise. So they'll be buying Bitcoin probably today and tomorrow and the next day. They usually buy over a few days period. So that's going to buy them a lot more Bitcoin. $500 million gets you a pretty decent chunk of Bitcoin these days. But this was announced this morning. They are going to sell up to $1 billion in stock to buy more Bitcoin. Now, they say it's for general purposes, including the acquisition of Bitcoin. You know most of that money is going to go to Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, it's either genius or madness. I don't know. I'm leaning with genius with a touch of madness, but holy cow. Are they doing another $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin purchases? This is wild. Absolutely wild. Now, their current round of purchases is going to put them over 100,000 Bitcoin, which is incredible. MicroStrategy, one company, has got just an incredible amount of Bitcoin. This is incredibly high conviction from Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy. And obviously, he's got a very supportive board who lets him keep throwing hundreds of millions and billions of dollars at Bitcoin purchases. This is going to be the corporate buy of the decade, potentially of the century. Their average price probably is around something like, I don't know, $25,000 or something at the moment. I'm sure Michael Saylor will update us with his average buy-in price when he finishes his purchase of this new $500 million round. But think about that. If their average buy-in price is, let's say, around $25,000, and in 5 years' time, for example, Bitcoin gets up to $500,000, holy cow, they would have made a lot of money. Not that they're planning on selling their Bitcoin, at least not according to Michael Saylor. It's a long-term asset for them. It's a strategic asset, which initially started as, well, we're going to get rid of our cash. Now it's like, sell everything, the kitchen sink, the car, the company stocks, more debt in the company, whatever, sell it all. We're buying Bitcoin. Before you know it, they're going to have sales for their office furniture to buy some more Bitcoin over at MicroStrategy. Holy cow. But it's good to see conviction coming in from market participants like MicroStrategy during this market bottoming period, for a big player to come in and say, hey, actually, you know what? I'm buying the freaking dip. So hats off to you, Michael Saylor. We also got Taproot, which has been locked in. So it has now got its 90% mandate, and it will be coming. Now, look, it's taken us a long time to get Taproot. In fact, it took a few years of hemming and hawing and, you know, testing it out, building it out, but it's coming now. Now, it has not been implemented yet. This is just signaling that it will happen. It's going to happen later this year when we actually get the implementation. As with Bitcoin, always things tend to move a bit slowly, but Everyone has signaled that yes, we do want to see this upgrade happen. Now this upgrade, it's not a massive upgrade. It's not going to dramatically change your experience when sending Bitcoin from point A to point B, but it does bring in some important things that will move Bitcoin forward in a meaningful way. So we are going to have better privacy options with Taproot. We're also going to have those multi-signature wallets having better functionality, and it'll make it more scalable in terms of connecting it into the Lightning Network. So this is all really good stuff. I'm happy to see upgrades for Bitcoin. I, of course, always want Bitcoin to do more, be better, and I feel like sometimes these upgrades take too long and don't do enough, but the conservative nature of Bitcoin, it's a feature of Bitcoin, and I have different theses for different investments, and I have to accept that with Bitcoin, this is what happens. It's slow to move, and that's a feature of Bitcoin, not a bug of Bitcoin. And finally for today, Tanzania's president urges central bank to prepare for cryptocurrencies. Amazing. This is another country hopping on the crypto bandwagon. So ever since El Salvador passed the law into effect, we've had about a dozen countries or so saying that they're exploring crypto, looking to even some saying basically that we're going to do exactly what El Salvador has done. So I think in Panama, there's been a lot of discussion around basically following the El Salvador model. Tanzania now saying we need to really get on board this crypto thing. We're missing out. So we need to adopt cryptocurrencies. We're seeing this more and more happening. Just all these countries that have been sidelined by the global financial system are starting to take notice of Bitcoin. And that is a big, big deal because there's real human impact that we start talking about here, where we have people who need help in terms of access to financial products, who are about to get help in terms of access to financial products. Because with Bitcoin, you don't need to have an ID or any stuff like that in order to receive money. You just need a Bitcoin wallet, right? You don't need all these things that you might need to get a bank account, for example. And of course, in a lot of developing countries, banking infrastructure is largely non-existent anyway. So seeing them leapfrog over this by using crypto, it's super, super big. Also in Northern Africa, we had Tunisia saying that they're looking to decriminalize Bitcoin because Bitcoin's actually illegal there. They actually arrested a 17-year-old kid the other day for using Bitcoin to pay for something online, which is absurd beyond belief. I mean, free that kid. Get that. What are you doing? Get that kid out of jail. That's absolutely ridiculous. We need Bitcoin freedom everywhere. We need crypto freedom everywhere. Bitcoin, you know, I talk about Bitcoin a lot, but Bitcoin's the tip of the spear. It's not just Bitcoin. It never has been. Well, okay, there was a time, a very short time, when it was just Bitcoin, but then everything else happened. Now that everything else is happening, Bitcoin is the tip of the spear, right? Bitcoin is the first one to launch itself into these places and to get this recognition because it does have the security, it does have the decentralization, it does have the name brand recognition. That's why we see countries adopting Bitcoin as legal tender and other countries starting to talk about adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. But all the other stuff will follow through the door. You'll see people lending out their stable coins on Ethereum and investing in dog meme tokens. You know it's going to happen. I don't know what the dog meme token thing's all about, but people seem to love that stuff, so there you go. Anyway, very exciting news to see Tanzania looking to hop on the bandwagon and get part of the crypto excitement. Get on the crypto train, man, because at the end of the day, every single country, every single person around the world needs to have access to this technology. We're in the midst of a freaking financial revolution that is decentralized and permissionless, and to not include everyone is absurd. So the more of these developing countries we can get on board, because those are the countries that really, really need this kind of technology, the better it's going to be for crypto in the long run. Anyway, those are just my 2 Satoshis. Your question for today: is the CEO of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, is he freaking crazy? I mean, come on. He's buying another $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. You may as well just rename the company Bitcoin Strategy or something. Anyway, is he crazy or is he a freaking genius for buying all of this Bitcoin? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.